Hello everyone, I'm Kristel and Celemin from the Batangas State University, Alangilan campus, taking Bachelor of Science in Information Technology from the section 2105.
This video is all about the second summary of Chapter 2, the Chapter 2 entitled Configure a Network Operating System. So, the first one is the iOS boot camp. The Cisco iOS, or this one is the operating system. So, the PC OS, or the operating system, allows user to interact with the computer. So, user-computer interaction in PC OS are often done by a mouse, keyboard, and monitor. So the interaction between the user computer and the PC is via mouse, keyboard, and monitor. The Cisco IOS is also an operating system. The Cisco IOS allows users to interact with Cisco devices. Then Cisco IOS access, the access method. So the console, auxiliary, and the virtual terminal or the telnet and the SSS. Then navigate the iOS. So Cisco iOS modes of operation. Initial configuration must done via console connection. So if we are configuring a switch or a router, so we are using a console cable. So that's why it says here that it must be done via console connection. So we are using a console cable. Then configuration is done via various CLI command mode. So we have different CLI command modes. The primary command mode. So the first one is the user exec mode and then the privilege exec mode. Then configuration command mode. The configure terminal command enters the global configuration mode. So, uh, sub-configuration modes are accessible from privilege exec mode, example switch config and switch config if. So, if you are in the privilege exec mode and you want to go to global configuration mode, so you will just put the configure terminal or the config C. Then navigate between the iOS modes. Navigation between modes is also done via commands. The enable command enters the privilege exec mode. The exit command exits the parent command mode. So, like for example, you are in the user exec mode and you want to go to privilege exec mode, so you will just type the enable command for that. Then exit, so it will exit to the parent command mode. Then the command structure. Basic iOS command structure. The general syntax for a command is the command followed by any appropriate keywords and arguments. So we have a proper command for that. Then the keyword, a specific parameter defined in the operating system. So the keyword is a specific parameter, while the argument is not defined, a value or variable defined by the user. So in keyword, the variable or the value is built in, so and it is also unspecified. But in argument, the value and variable is defined by the user. iOS command syntax provides the pattern or format that must be used when entering a command. So there is a pattern that entering when entering a command. Then the Cisco iOS command reference is the ultimate source of information for a particular iOS command. So iOS help feature. The iOS has two forms of help available: the context-sensitive help and the command syntax check. Check. So the iOS help feature. So it has two forms of available for the help. So the first one is the context-sensitive help and the command syntax check. Hotkeys and shortcuts. Commands and keywords can be shortened to the minimum number of characters to identify a unique selection. So, uh, to shorten the commands and the keywords. So there is a unique selection to identify as a unique selection. Then our command can be shortened. So it has shortcuts or the hotkeys. Then line editing commands shortcuts such as Control A are also supported. So you can use the Control A. Basic device configuration, host name. So we'll now configure. So device host name. Host names allow devices to identify by network administrator over a network or the internet. Very important and should always be displayed in the topology. So the device names or the host name. So if you are configure a host name, so you will just a host name, then space, then the host name that you want. So the host name is like the device name. Then configure host name. So the iOS host name should start with a letter. So it must be start with a letter, contain no spaces, and with letter or digit. Use only letters, digits, or dashes. So space is uh, prohibited. Then be less than 64 characters in length. Limit access to device configuration. Secure device access, secure privilege, exec and user exec access with a password. Secure virtual terminal lines with a password. So when you are using you will put the password for the privilege and the user exec. So for privilege and then the lines and the VCY for virtual terminals. So you will put also the password. Then configure password. So use a strong password. It means that you can use a combination of letters and numbers. Then avoid reusing password. So you need to have a unique password. Then encrypt passwords. Cisco iOS display passwords in plain text by default. Passwords should be encrypted. So to be encrypted, so the command for that is service password encryption. Then banner messages. So the command for this is um, banner, then the quotation, and then the message that you want, and then the quotation also. Then important part of the legal process in the event that someone is prosecuted or breaking into a device. Wording that implies that a login is welcome or invited is not appropriate. Often used for legal notification because it is displayed to all connected terminals. Save configuration. Save the running configuration file. The file stored in the NVRAM that contains all of the commands will be used upon startup or reboot. NVRAM does not lose its content when the device is powered up. So you will save the running config to the startup config because the running config is stored in the RAM or the random access memory, and when the device is powered off, so it will lose its contents. So you will save it to the startup, so because the startup is the file is stored in the NVRAM, and it says here that the NVRAM does not lose its content when the device is powered off. Then alter the running configuration. So file stored in RAM that reflects the current. So I said it already. Then capture configuration to a text file. Configuration file can also be saved and archived to a text document. The configuration can be edited with any text editor and placed back in the device. The address schemes, the port and addresses. IP addresses, each and devices on a network must be configured with an IP address. So it needs to have a unique IP addresses, then unique IP address, enable device establish end-to-end communication on the internet. So the IP address is used to to have a communication with internet. The structure of IPv4 address is called dotted decimal notation and is represented by four decimal numbers between 0 and 255. Then IPv6 is the most recent version of the IP and the replacement of for the more common IPv4 interface and ports. Network communications depend on interfaces and the cable that connects them. Different types of network media have different features and benefits. Ethernet is the most common local area network or the LAN technology. So the Ethernet says here that this is the common local area network technology or the LAN. Then SVI provides a means to remotely manage a switch over a network. So the SBI provides so it will using this to a switch. Then verify connectivity. The uh, end-to-end connectivity test. The ping command can be used to test the connectivity to other devices on the network or a website on the internet. So, like for example, in your topology, you have a uh, two router connected to or two computers connected to different routers. So just like you have a PC 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you want to ping or you want to test the connectivity between the PC 1 and the PC 4. So you will uh, in the command prompt. So you will type the ping and then the IP address of the the PC4. So if you got the four replies, it means that they have the connectivity. But if doesn't get the reply, so it means that they don't have any connectivity. So thank you. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.